But no, it's something that could be said for Infamous because about a month ago, they started to get some traction. But if you watch them during one of the previous tournaments, the Great American Rivalry, people were mad. They were like, how did this team get invited? Like, they're terrible. Like, no one had faith in them. And, from an observer standpoint, you can say, like, well, these are the things that are working really well, but they have to go back. They need to start doing better drafts or whatever. But again, watching through like ESL that just happened, watching through Omega and stuff, you can see like the pieces are just starting to come together. They're getting more comfortable with one another too, which I think is really awesome to watch. Like Michael and Pepita, the way that they roam together, depending on what Pepita has for that off lane, they do so much work with it. And it's really a joy to see just these very talented individuals finally hitting their stride and then trying to, challenge the crown of Quincy crew here. So I'm excited for this game. I think it should be great. But you can see a lot of respect fans coming out here from the side of Infamous. Yowar has been an absolute terror with his Faceless Void. He's just been too good on it, too good of a hero as well. Terrorblade has also been removed, and they took out Pakaz's his Morphling because that's one of his favorite heroes to play. So none of that, what leaves us now for like the cores? I know Drow's been pretty popular, but you need a very specific kind of draft to make that work. Spectre's still available, but it might be a little slow. And then Sven, of course, right? Sven's a very, very strong core right now.
He is, yeah. The interesting part to me is that Quincy crew hasn't been picking up their, or they haven't picked up their carry in the first phase this time around, even though that's something they have done quite a lot recently, and something that is also happening a lot in EU. When you have the last pick of the first phase, you just pick your carry first and protect it with the next three bans, but they're playing it more carefully, although at the same time that Legion commander there as well, it's something's afoot. Something's afoot. LC Phoenix. Okay, so that's where we're going. Also, interesting thing to note about the difference in metas between regions is that this Phoenix wouldn't have made it through the first phase first phase bans in the EU. Never mind through the first phase.
It really depends on the teams, honestly. Some of the teams will ban it out because they know they're too good with it. Other teams will. Interesting. They ended up letting it go through, considering they have a Treant protector, right? Treant and Phoenix go together like peanut butter and jelly, or whatever the equivalent is in EU. Because I know you guys aren't very big PB&J fans over there, but
no, you don't do that.
Oh, that's interesting. A
Tusk
pickup. Was not expecting that. The Gyrocopter too, without an IO, he's kind of garbage. Like, I know Pakaz really likes this hero, but I feel like they could have gone maybe with like something stronger, maybe a Sven. They don't have the best ways of being able to kite the Sven just yet.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm guessing that's going to be a Lelis Legion commander. He's been playing so well with that hero. It's going to be very, very scary for the side of Infamous if they're not on their toes about this. Plus the fact that you've got ways to, just dispel different things coming out. So no Drow, though. Drow would have been really nice. Drow. Still could go
10 seconds.
Still could go.
You definitely. Yeah, you won't pick it on. Actually, I don't think you pick either of them on Quincy crew. There's too many ways to kite a Sven, dodge him, cut up the team fight. It would be nice, of course, to have a hero that can cross a distance towards a gyrocopter, but it doesn't feel good to have to do that through a Clockwork Tusk. They're not going to let you. He's going to be flanking you from the distance all the while.
But what's the option then? What do you think would fit into the Quincy crew draft at this point for you?
Honestly, I think that with the style that they've been playing and the overwhelming amount of teamfight that they have, they don't necessarily need to go for a hard carry here, like a really big core. Something that we've seen in EU a lot is carry Doom, for example.
I don't think they're going to run that. Not the way the Quincy crew's been playing.
No, but it's more of the... I don't think they need to necessarily do it. Of course, if they feel like it, they totally still can. If you want to think about crossing the distance, Slark's still in the pool.
It is. Not a big
that's left, actually.
Fan of that, though. Well, let's see. All right, so Infamous, most likely, I think... Might be Michael, might be Faker. I think you still want a Faker hero, and that's kind of what they've been banning out, right? The Lena's been taken out, the Death Prophet, the Tiny the Ember Spirit, the Nature's Prophet. They banned so many heroes. Again, could be flex, but these are things that Faker plays. Could see something like a Kunkka or an Invoker. Okay,
Team
that's something
fight
he's been playing
control.
a lot of.
Yep, and this fits with the two beefy supports here.
So then, what's the UR hero for Quincy crew?
10 seconds remaining.
So he needs something fairly tempo. Okay, they go for the
Well,
Spectre.
they certainly didn't need to, but at the very least, like, yeah, this will get you on top of the gyrocopter, and if your grip slips in the mid game and the gyrocopter gets out of control, you still always have the late game to fall back on. Always, always, always.
I mean, we've seen games too where Quincy Crew has just been so dominating that it doesn't even feel like UR even needs to show up sometimes. But he will have the option of being able to do that, obviously, with the Spectre. Gang potential is a little scary, though, coming out from Infamous when you consider you've got Excel on the Clockwork, Position 5 Clockwork. Papita is running the offlane Tusk. That's going to be interesting for me because I haven't seen a lot of that, like, in a very long time. I've seen him as the 4, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bit of a blast from the past, actually. And then, of course, depending on the build of the Invoker, we might also see Sunstrikes into either the Tusks or the Clockworks area disables, as well as on top of possible Shackle Shots. So, loads of possibilities here for Infamous to get pickoffs, as well as a nice amount of team fight control, but not the best like AoE damage, actually. So, in like any kind of mass team fight, Quincy Crew should totally still have the upper hand.
All right. Well, have to hope that, Infamous can get that footing, start making things happen early, because if it goes late, that is going to be very, very difficult for them.
Not what you expected?
All right. Let's see then. The straight up Legion Commander pick is such a confidence move. There's a lot of lanes that the LC doesn't necessarily come out in well enough, and by that I mean, okay, she's going to do fine. She's most likely going to get some last hits, keep her sustain up with the Moment of Courage procs, but she's not going to get as much as she needs, because this is a very snowbally hero, and you want to start getting duels going as fast as possible. You need a very strong start if you want that to always go smoothly. So the fact that they say, like, yeah, whatever carry you're going to pick into this is fine with us. We are going to play that LC is... They know they're the favorites here, and they feel comfortable taking on that role. And
Kips, I'm just going to interrupt you really fast here because your party, you've got the wrong thing open for casting. I'm hearing double.
My bad.
Yeah, it's got to be the team, not the party.
Nobody ever told me the difference.
Oh, no. All right,
it's like, actually, nobody ever did.
Oh, really?
I guess I haven't been in parties with my co-casters. That is it.
That could be it.
Just been independently joining lobbies. I see. Alright, where was I? Yeah, that the role of favorites is not always... Not all teams like that. And I think that Quincy Crew has taken to that role very naturally in NA.
Not what you expected?
It's interesting because we do have a lot of comfort picks coming out from both of these sides. We talk about Faker plays quite a bit of that Invoker. They like to pair it up with an Elder Titan usually too, which can have very dramatic experiences with what can happen.
Yes.
Pakaz, obviously, he loves his gyrocopter. And then, Quinn's Void Spirit is actually just so terrifying. A big thing that they're going to have to try to do is make sure... Yeah, they can tell they've got the vision on the side. But, they need to find a way to slow down Quinn, because if Quinn gets this opportunity to start accelerating, it is going to be so difficult for them. And the same thing could be said about Lelis, too. If Lelis is having a really good time, it just makes so much space for UR. So I've seen several times now that UR has gotten pushed out of lane. They're putting so much pressure on him, but it doesn't matter if they get this opportunity in the mid-game to be able to, make the space and bounce back.
And this timing spike of Quinn with I've seen how he lanes this hero. This man is a beast. During the Great American Rivalry, I think they picked him this Void Spirit about half of the time, and you know what? I guess they're not done with it. And it's going to help a lot in getting these jewels off, because if there's one thing that Void Spirit's good at, it's bursting people, and if there's one thing he's not good at, is holding them still for, say, 4 seconds. So, a great combination there. All it needs is the opportunity.
Will be very interesting to watch the two of these guys duke it out. But it feels like this bottom lane's a little bit weak, right? You've got 2 melee up against the Wind Ranger and, of course, the Tusk. Although, you know, with the tag team, you can do a decent amount of damage. But Michael's just constantly going to be plinking away here. And you are just going to have to do the best you can.
Big hits in return. Yeah, SVG is going to try and soak as much of that damage for his Spectre as possible, because if Yawara has to tank all of this, he's going to have to ferry in so much regen. Because the Tusk, at least if he always gets to have the tag team, will outtrade him really hard.
You've got that and the fact that, oh gosh, we've got the first blood where Lelis gets taken out. A little bit of battery assault, maybe just sitting a little too low there.
I see I took T-Tour's Panda's curse with me to NA.
It's fine, we caught the tail end of that.
I mean, we were warned, weren't we, about the aggression of this carry player?
Yes, he will ping out exactly what he wants. In fact, they're going to start making some moves over here on MSS, because he doesn't have that Icarus dive yet. He's just level 1, and they'll just chase him down. They need maybe 1 or 2 more hits, and there it is. Excel taking some tower damage, though, as Michael gets a kill on Yuar in the other lane. Oh, Excel very lucky that he has that Fairy Fire. Lelis was hoping to get that kill, but it's not quite fast enough with this little clockwork. Immediately just passes off, grabs the solve.
And with the pressure on this bottom lane as well, SVD can't actually go into a very relaxed living armor build. You don't see that very often these days anyway, but he has to go Leech Seed and Nature's Grasp just in order to keep his own lane safe. And that means that Lelis is not going to get any global support. He is going to have to figure it out on his own on this top lane.
Well, I think as they get more levels, right? Because level 1 Phoenix, what is Phoenix going to do? He's just going to be able to go throw out Fire Spirits. That's not very helpful.
Yep.
You know, it's good harass, but it's not going to be as effective as like a Clockwork and a Gyrocopter especially. So I think if they just play a little bit more carefully, it should be absolutely fine. In fact, Excel may be biting off a little bit more than he can chew. But immediately just walks off, and again, he's going to have to get some more regen ferried out to him because he took so many hits earlier. But there it is. There's a salve.
Yeah, that's his job. I'm keeping one eye over in his mid lane, by the way. We're not going to see any Sunstrike kills because this is a Quas Wax Invoker. Unless he's going to start... unless he's only got this for the lane and he's going to move into Exort starting now, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did move into that, though, eventually. He's fine. He's a little clocky boy.
Oh yeah. It's like, look at how low he is, and MSS is just still like, you know what? I don't actually want anything to do with that.
He's a Phoenix. What is he gonna do to a Clockwork right now by himself? I mean, if Lelis came over, perhaps. And there it is.
Don't ask.
Alright, never mind. He just goes for the, trying to go for the suicide play. Not quite, though. But this does open the doors a little bit here, where Pakaz has to be a bit more careful. Haven't skilled that second point just yet. I'm guessing most likely gonna go for an Icarus dive, but could opt to obviously go for the Sunray as well. There's a little bit of a scuffle over here for the rune. Quinn's still managing to grab it, and we have a rotation now. Quinn's gonna get turned around, trying to go over here to the high ground. Changes his mind though, because he does know that there's 3 people here. Living armor will keep him alive a little bit longer. So he'll bottle through it and head back over. Those pings.
SVG does opt to spread out his chances a little bit here, and well, that does mean he has a lot more trouble. Yep, trading in situations like this.
That's a valiant effort, but
Quinn's
overdiving in the
diving
mid
on
lane. Yeah, Faker trying to run away, trying to juke, and he does manage to predict the correct turn here. Still sitting a bit low. I don't know if you want to continue, although he only has enough mana for that to simulate right now, so. We'll back off. 5-minute runes coming up, though, infamous. Oh, the swoop coming out from MSS. Not quite there, though. You are trying to man fight against Pepita and Michael. Got the Nature's Grasp to slow them down a little bit. Snowball will deliver Pepita over to the wave. But both of them sitting quite low. We do have a bottle, though, on Pepita. He'll be able to heal up. Wind Ranger might have to walk home, though.
She's going to have to keep her status up from now on. The same goes for the Clockwork, because Quinn is going to dive mid as soon as he gets level 6, basically, and he feels ready. So they really need to look out for that one on the supports on Infamous now.
Quinn getting a little bit aggressive. But otherwise, just chilling, waiting for that 6-minute rune. Is going for the bottom one, and looks like he gets lucky. He does get the regen. Michael not going to be able to snap it away from him. You are sitting very low down here. Makes me a little nervous. Oh, they have a salve. Alright, gets fed a salve by SVG. What a good
SVG's got
teammate.
the raindrops too. Yeah, he's just tanking everything for Yoar.
How are we doing with levels up here? Lela's sitting at level 5 right now. Because one level higher.
Patience coming in bot.
See it coming from a mile away, it feels like. Faker turns around though, says maybe we can grab Quinn, but the big person they want is Yawar, who's got very little mana. Does have some of those wand charges, but overall just very inefficient. They don't manage to get anything done as both of the mids rotated to the bottom lane, and they're just gonna go right back again.
Still a win for Quinn here, I think. He was farming over the side. What has happened? Faker walked the entire way down.
Excel. Can't really grab the Phoenix at this point, just because you do have that Icarus dive.
There's the mid dive, by the way.
There it is! And that's a dead Faker.
Yeah. What can you do as an invoker, honestly?
You can Ghost
And
Walk
this is
and
kind
hope
of-
that he doesn't find you, it doesn't have detection, but this is classic Quinn in the mid lane. If you don't have someone who's going to be able to gank him, he is just going to start to accelerate.
Again, I think the supports could have been ready for this. Of course, Versu, what are you going to do against him? But
Call down here in the top lane as they're going to chase after Lelis and MSS. I'm not sure they want to go for this dive. Excel's taking too much damage from the tower, plus the Sun Ray. Lelis will clean up, says thank you very much. Don't
Oh, no,
have
that's
enough
Lelis.
mana, though, here for the duel as Faker makes his own rotation. MSS now, I think he's just gone a little bit too far, so he'll be next to fall.
Is under attack.
nicely done. And I think that Picasso is really leaning into this over-aggressive reputation as well. You could see them turning around there and being like, alright, this man went too far now. No, he didn't. His teammate was backing it up.
I don't even think he's
Smart
leaning
plays.
into it. I think this is just how Picasso is.
I know, but I mean, like, he's wasn't being careful there at all because he knew his teammate was coming.
Actually coming out to the mid lane here from SS. The jump forward though over into Michael is going to drag him right back in again. They do have that magic damage, so the wind run's not going to save Michael. Manages to go land that shackle. Quinn just on the hunt has the steps. And at the same time, Pakaz gets a kill on Lelis in the top lane.
I still think that's okay for Lelis. The problem is that he's going to have trouble getting on top of his targets, but once he does, it's still the same old story because Quinn's going to have a ton of damage. He's going to be able to actually get the dual wins for him.
I don't know about this. Pepita gets dragged in immediately. Does have the snowball though. It's going to go right over here to SVG. SVG sitting at level 5, so it looks like he's going to just get punched up into the air and get chopped down at the same time. But this is
yeah,
breeding
this
room
time
for
they were-
Yuar.
Yeah, this time they were ready for Quinn, but that's 4 heroes, as you say. Immediate breathing room for Juar. He is very poor.
They
though.
have dust. Oh, Faker, my friend. You thought you were safe, but you cannot hide from them. Went a little bit low on mana. Looks like he's not going to be making that dive on Excel this time.
And I feel bad for this Invoker. I presume that he's still going to want a Midas after this, but he is not making any progress towards that at all right now.
It's definitely struggling when you consider the CS.
Oh,
Excel?
Excel.
All right, Excel. All right.
Lelis is like, couldn't you wait?
Yeah, he wanted that
No,
dual
wait,
damage, huh?
I want to press R on something. You're not letting me.
Well, I mean,
Thought
if he
we had
gets a
a deal.
+1, they could maybe make some moves over onto Pakaz, but... Yeah, look at this. Quinn and SVG making their way over. They know that he's alone right now. Quinn doesn't even bother to be shy about it, just immediately shows up. Starts waving hello to Pakaz here. Astral Step, open up with the Astral. And there's just so much damage. They'll be able to go take down Pakaz. Lelis doesn't even get the chance to get the duel, and Faker, though, following up. Lelis looking for this opportunity, but he's going to get pulled over to the side. They'll get themselves a cleanup kill on SVG. Excel looking to chase after Lelis. You are, though. He's haunted in, and he's got his eyes on Faker. They draw him right back in again, and they'll find
What a
themselves
dive.
yet another kill. The Icarus dive plus an egg. It looks really, really nice here. Pepita's just burning to death over on the side. Michael trying his best. Does manage to get the shackle, but he's still going to get taken down here as Pepita gets swooped upon. UR's on a triple kill. He wants some more. Can he get it? It's going to be Quinn who cleans it up, and the only one who's left alive is the gyrocopter.
Very, very, very impressive dive. And Lelis was clearly holding his jewel at the start there, only to get met by a very unfortunate EMP. It's like, man, did I hold it for this? Because I think they definitely could have reached him, but he's just like, no, they're going to TP more in. I want to get my jewel on the next one. We can kill this one. No. I don't think he minds too much, though.
I mean, either way you're winning, right? But it would be nice if he got a little extra damage here, especially when they present themselves on a platter like that to you.
And Infamous is in a world of trouble right now. They have no easy way to break a tower, and Yawar now has an entire kingdom to his own up on the top side of the map, while Infamous does not have any space.
They have the lockdown here for Quinn. Oh, but he jumps away at the last second. That hook shot could have been so good. Icarus dive getting thrown up here. SVG gets pushed back just a little bit. Excel, though, looks like he's going to be the sacrifice. They'll go right back in again. And just like that, they lose their brave little toaster.
That's okay. That could have gone much, much worse. But this is not the type of transition at the laning phase you want when you have a Tusk. This is... You invested so much in having a really strong frontliner and damage dealer right out of the gate, and he doesn't get to do anything, really.
When he's still hunting, Pepita dragged back with the Sunray, manages to go, gets that hit, and that ends up being a kill. Going to the side here. Doesn't feel like Pepita's going to be able to survive this, though. It's a nice shards, but just not enough. As SVG, look how fast he is. He's thinking about trying to chase after Michael, but not going to be able to quite close the gap. Still holding on to that overgrowth, though, so if they decide to get very aggressive, they could punish this, because they do have Phoenix Egg as well, and Lelis is always looking for a jewel. Even has his Soul Ring online, so he'll make sure he's got that mana. Egg immediately comes out. They get too nervous. Lelis finds himself a Faker. We'll go in for the duel. Easy duel damage. Another kill here. Pakaz shows up.
They're 2 versus 3 right now.
They could make some moves. Yeah, the TP's coming out from Quinn. He wants this. Pakaz, Sunray, the slow, and then they're going to follow up with Quinn. He's here just in time, but there's going to be a snowball buys a little bit more time as they'll go right back in again. Pakaz is dead. Lelis gets himself a double kill. Now Pepita left all alone. There's so many heroes bullying our poor little potato here. You are just slowly chasing after him. Who's going to get the hit? Is it going to be Quinn? Is it going to be Lelis? Which one? It's going to be Quinn with the GG branches too.
Wow. And this is a slaughter. I said, no, well, you know, Infamous have the pick-off potential, Quincy crew have the team fight. If you keep running at them like this, you keep giving them the team fights, and it's so hard if you're Infamous, because you know you need a tower, you need a breakthrough somewhere. So anytime you see somebody, you want to run after it. It's just not going to help you in this case, because they have so much sustain and area denial. It's insane.
Oh, this is another kill for Quinn. I have to say that in a lot of the games that we've been seeing recently, especially Quinn and Brow, like especially hyper aggressive, especially, you know, even if their lane's not going super great, they just start going, and as soon as they get any sort of an advantage, they just don't stop. You can't go anywhere without having to deal with these guys. And in this case, like you said, Infamous, they need some breathing room. They don't have the territory, right? All the tier 1s are still up, but they're just not finding it because of the aggression that we're seeing with these particular, lineups with this draft.
And Quinn is going to have an Orchid very, very soon. Is he actually already flying it in?
Lelis?
Oh, not yet.
Nope.
Well, there's one of those pickoffs at the very least. And they might be getting...
Nope,
No.
we can't get MSS. He's a little bit too tanky for that Sunstrike.
At the very least, 2 bounty runes and a kill. But look at how far forward Yawar is farming. Quincy Crew knows exactly how much space they bought with just that single death. And let's face it,
Michael?
they don't even need to lose a tower for that.
I'll try to save him with the snowball, but SVG is here as well to pop the overgrowth in. From downtown in comes Excel, but you don't have the lockdown for this Void Spirit now. Excel just taking a bath in all of the sun's glory right now. Does not feel good. He should fall here. One more hit. Who's gonna get it? SVG is trying to let Lelis get the duel. What a bro. And there it is.
Oh, I thought he was body blocking him.
I mean, he could have been griefing him a little bit, but I think it was probably for that dual damage. Kaz immediately TPs away, doesn't want anything to do with this.
Yep, and this is much more how they need to play it now. If you see one of your teammates dying, you run towards the nearby tower and you start hitting it and just deal some chip damage. The only problem with this strat is that normally that would get you a tower in 2 or 3 rounds. This time, you're up against SVG, who is leveling living armor right now.
Make it very difficult, especially when you see which heroes you got online. There's a Haunt, though, coming in. And they found Pakaz. They do manage to have the snowball nearby. They didn't realize that. He had a invisible rune here, but Pakaz is just not going to be able to stand up to them. There's too much damage. Although, in comes Faker, trying to buy a little bit more time. He's got that. He's going to pops right over into the corner, exactly where the gyrocopter is. Quinn now, not looking so healthy. I don't believe he's going to survive this one, so we'll pay for it with his life. And they're still chasing here, hopefully, trying to get MSS. He's already used pretty much everything. Does have the egg, though, if he needs to use it, but he doesn't have the support from the rest of the team. Looks like he is going to go for it because in comes Lelis, and he wants this duel over onto Michael. That's a little bit more duel victory. It looks like we're going to end up losing the Phoenix, but they'll be able to go and get themselves a double kill on the Legion Commander anyways.
Slaughter. Quinn's in a little bit deep there, but I think he knows that at this point he can do pretty much anything, and all of the time that he needed to buy for the Spectre, it has already happened. Where's got Yasha? I don't think there's amount of times that...
Oh my god.
What I thought. Lelis.
Faker! Pobrecito. He did not see that one coming, but I think he will from now on.
Oof. I mean, it was about time for Lelis to get a Bleak Dagger.
Wasn't even he just shouldn't be sitting that low. You don't know where the Legion Commander is. You don't know where Quinn is. You're just begging them to give you a free kill here.
Well,
Pakaz in the bottom lane. Well, we know where Quinn is now. That meme hammer coming in hot. They have the blink on Lelis, but looks like they're gonna allow Pepita to live.
For now.
For now, right. Next time they might not be as lucky.
And I think that Infamous made a bit of a miscalculation with their warding here hold. I thought Quinn is going... I'm not going to get to say anything this game, am I?
Maybe eventually. Maybe at the end. Quinn,
that's
they
okay.
still managed to get the kill, but he will fall to Michael. You are joining in now. And just slowly but surely chasing after Pepita. I'm not sure what those shards are. Oh, because Lelis is on the way. Lelis wants a duel. But they're not gonna let him stick around. Okay, maybe the Phoenix though. MSS spotting it, immediately jumping forward. There's no wind run here, and that's a lot of damage coming out here with the Phoenix, but they'll save him a little bit longer with the snowball. So no dual damage this time, but they immediately go pop the egg. Lelis still gets himself a kill. Would have really liked that damage too, but that's alright. He'll settle for a double kill.
So what I was going to say was that I think Infamous really underestimated the use of their vision. They had an entire line of wards down here as well as one more near the mid tower because they were hoping, you know, we see them coming in when we go to take a tower. The problem is they never really got to start any tower sieges at all. You don't need to watch their rotations when they're on your side of the map all the time. It feels like they made a good attempt at getting a grip on this game through vision, but it doesn't pay off against this relentless aggression, and here they go again!
Yeah, right into it, plus a duel, plus the meme hammer. What are we at here, Lelis? 50 extra damage at 20 minutes in. Not bad, not too shabby. And
Yeah,
Quinn's
for
still
someone
hunting.
who...
Look, this man does not stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Dragging in Bakaz. Double kill for Quinn.
And Lettuce? Ah, he blinks out of that one.
SVG. They do have a little bit of this vision, but just gonna get pushed back. Throw some living armor on himself. There's gonna be the Haunt coming in from Uar. They want the kill on Excel. They'll be able to grab it. Don't have anything to cancel out over on Michael, but they see Papita, and Papita's trying to figure out how am I getting away from this. They can see that he's going over to the creeps. He's gonna turn right back around again. We almost have the duel up. Can they buy a little bit more time for Lelis 4? 3, 2, 1. Are we gonna go in for the duel? He says, don't kill him, he's mine! And Yoar just can't help it, you know. Whores, man. They're the pigs. Oh, our observer's mad. He wanted to see some more damage on Lelis.
Structures are fortified.
Was it maybe even Papita killing himself on the dispersion?
It's probably that, honestly. I don't think Uar was like, oh, I'm gonna get it, Lelis. What you gonna do?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was dispersion kill.
yes. It was funny though.
Come on, Infamous. If you want to make this move right now, you gotta smoke for it, guys.
Oh, look at it, Lelis. They know. They see him. Hook shot doesn't quite connect though. EMP. Lelis forced to run away. Does have that wonderful missile on him, and the rest of the team's here. There's 5 people. All right, Leslie, calm down.
I guess you don't need the smoke if Lelis just stays.
He was feeling too confident there.
Yeah. I think the rules for this game have gone out of the window about 10 minutes ago. So let's see what else Quincy crew come up with. And if Infamous finally are going to get a tower here, it is full health again. Thanks to that wonderful living armor.
Yeah, they should be able to get this. I don't think they even bother with the tier 1 and bottom. They're just gonna allow Uar to keep farming because Uar right now 11k net worth.
He's had a good time.
I think that's an understatement.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, here's the smoke.
But
What's
everyone's
map?
playing top. Like, they have to know this is coming. There's no way that Infamous doesn't make their way to the top part of the map right now. They are in the Roche pit, though. So a little bit slow, but... Oh, never mind. Not with that press the attack on Uar. Alright. Too late. You're too late, Infamous. They go for their own smoke, trying to run them out, but again, the jump forward here from Papita. Gonna try to just keep them alive so he doesn't get the dual damage. They got a lot of it, too, coming through here. They'll go right over for the egg. They'll be able to take down Lelis first
Nice
and foremost, but the
positioning.
egg's still gonna be able to go and pop, because even here with the BKB, it doesn't seem to matter. Papita's gonna get taken down now. And MSS held up over onto Chase because he's trying. Oh man, this is bad. When your core is trying to go and deny himself at 23 minutes into the game, you feel real sad. Michael now again. There's the meme hammer. That's a double kill for Quinn. That's a team wipe on Infamous.
I can see why they've been doing so well recently, though. Their positioning for that fight was very good, but they're just too far behind at this point. If you're like 10k behind in that fight, 8k, I can see how you can get away with that just through sheer positioning and denial of information, but not like this. Not when Quinn has a Yules on top of his aura kit, when Yawar has that entire Manta style completed. He is just going to buy his Skadi straight up. He's going to have it before the next fight.
Alright, Sun Strike plus the hook shot. Can they get the kill on Quinn? Looks pretty good. Oh, but he's slippery. Oh, the Excel almost grabs him. There's going to be the Haunt thrown out. They want to go back in on this. Like Excel's going to get burned down to death, and Uar's kind of a little far here, chasing after Papita. There's going to be a nice ice wall and a tornado. Does need some help. It'll immediately go pop the Manta. In comes Pakaz. They want to take advantage of this. They know that he's gone just maybe a little bit too far, and they have the net. Be able to go pull him right back in again. Lela's going in for the duel, but the Deafening Blast plus that snowball is going to be able to keep them alive a little bit longer. They'll turn it back around. They get the kill on Lelis, and there's just so much damage though coming out from Uar. Even because he's got to run. He can't stand toe-to-toe to him right now as Michael gets left behind. Tries to get the final hit here over onto Quinn, and he's just not going to be able to find it. He's too tanky. He's too well taken care of.
I feel so bad for Infamous that they don't get that kill on Quinn at the start. Those abilities would change absolutely perfectly if there is no living armor in the game, or if he is, just that little bit less over leveled. Quinn's 100% dead there, but
Dire's
it
middle
doesn't pay
tower
off, and instead Infamous just baits himself into another bad fight. Look
And
at
they're
this
just going back in
because
again. Oh. F in chat, boys. Still trying to make some moves on Quinn. They've got the Sun Strike. He's gone a little bit too
there
far
we
this
go.
time. So there's some signs of life here, but you are, again, very powerful. Plus, with this Phoenix Egg, oh, the follow-up coming from SVG. He jumps forward. He's got the Overgrowth. This Egg's gonna pop, so is Excel. He's dead. Pelpita's next to fall, and they've got their eyes on Michael over on the side. You are taking a decent chunk of damage, but he does have the Essence Ring, so he's gonna stay alive a little bit longer. Over on the side, they'll find the kill on Michael, and only Faker is left standing.
I'm not sure what Infamous can do, should do, will do. It's.
I think they need to go back into the draft and make some changes personally. But also, like, Quincy Crew's just, they're so good. We talk about this, and I know everyone's like, oh, it's kind of like, how Secret's been winning everything in EU, right? Quincy Crew
Yes,
is the secret
very
of
much.
NA right now. They play so well. And unfortunately, no one has quite made it up to the same tier level as them. Lelis, he wants this duel, is gonna find Pakaz, and by God, he gets it. What are we looking at now? I hear a Han coming in too. They're hoping they can maybe grab someone else. And of course it is Excel. He's just going to try to go for a D-ward or something here. Trying to make time. Trying to do anything he can. But eventually just gets stuck over here on the cliff. And down he goes. The GG gets called. They've had enough on Infamous. A 24k net worth lead. 26 minutes. There's no reason to keep subjecting themselves to this. They'll go back to the drawing board here. And come in fresh for game number 2.
Yeah, I hope that they can just, push this one aside, feel like, hey, maybe this is a warm-up problem, or, they made a mistake in the draft. I definitely don't think that the gyrocopter without the IO, as you said, all the way back, is a good idea if you don't have a ton of other front line in front of it. And it was when you have that Void Spirit already on the board, he's going to jump you. You need to be able to do something against that. And even in the draft, Infamous already didn't have any solutions. You saw how hard they had to change their abilities just to get those couple of kills on Quinn. So, yeah, they definitely could improve a lot there and just get, to play the next game if they get their conditions right.
I think, like I said, I mentioned this actually when we first started talking about the history of Infamous Gaming in the last 2 months. I mentioned their drafting, their players are good, but the drafts can be off, honestly. Like you said, with the Gyrocopter, Gyro's just kind of hot garbage without an IO. There were other options on the table that they could have picked up. And I know, again, because he likes playing Gyrocopter, he likes playing Morphling, but sometimes, you gotta pick something a little bit different. I don't know why they went for the Tusk. I guess they thought, okay, we've got a way to save possibly. I know that
Yep.
Michael picked up the Wind Ranger because they didn't want to allow that to go over to the side of Quincy Crew. That's something they really enjoy. But I just felt like all the pieces fit together pretty well for Quincy Crew, especially when you consider you've got the Treant Protector and the Phoenix together. They like that. You've got Quinn on one of his best heroes right now, which is the Void Spirit. Lelis has been performing very well in the Legion Commander. I just feel like Quincy Crew was playing the kind of Dota that they wanted to play. And Infamous kind of got into that trap of, well, we can't let them have this. Well, they picked this, so we need to pick this.
Yeah.
Play your own game, Infamous. Play your own game. Go a little bit more meta with your drafts. I think that you'll have a much easier time with it, personally. But,
No,
that's
agreed.
just my observations over, a course of how long have I been watching these guys now. Quincy Crew, though, again, there's a reason. These guys, they're the kings of North and South America right now. They play so well. They make very good decisions. And just the momentum coming out from Quinn in that game. That man never stopped going for kills. I don't think I saw him hesitate once. Maybe the only time was when,
Nope.
they were trying to let Lelis get the, try to get the duel. But otherwise,
I think Lelis caught up in Jules just fine for somebody who was running after the first 3 kills, being like, let me get this.
that's true.
He did okay. Okay. No, but I definitely think that there's an option for Quincy Crew to overreach themselves. You could see in that game that they are really testing the limits. And at some point, some team is going to punish them for that. but it definitely wasn't infamous in this game. But maybe it's going to be infamous in next game.
That's definitely possible because it is a best of 3 series. We are in the upper bracket. So, guys, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll have game number 2 and we'll see if Infamous can play their own game of Dota and not get lulled into the sense of playing Quincy Crew's Dota.